All right. Okay. So welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Are you there? Oh, yeah. Do I see you? Please, if you are there, lift your hand. Let me see you. Okay. I see you. I see you. I see you. Okay. Relax. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. And make sure you get an exercise book so that you write one or two things. Okay, and if you've got a question, please just make sure you drop it down there. Subscribe to this channel and let me know that you are there. Comment anything, comment something. If you've got a question, please make sure you comment that question. Make sure you also follow me on Facebook. There is a page, Akim Puri, page author. So you help me by supporting me, by giving me a like, and surely you are not going to be the same. School is exciting, but sometimes it discourages a lot of people by having an experience such as failing. We fail in certain exams, we fail in certain tests, writing assignments, we fail, but we can make a school exciting by making sure that we avoid these common mistakes in exams. Sometimes these are the mistakes that will make our learning, our school experiences very miserable. So it is possible to change things. So today we are looking at episode number 3, and we are looking at another set of 5 common mistakes that students make in exams or in every test that you write, and how you can avoid them. So mistake number 1 is failure to go through your work after you have finished writing. It is very important. I know sometimes you may not have enough time to go through the work that you have done. So it is important to make sure that you go through your work. Go through your work after finishing. If you still have time, make sure you go through your work, because sometimes you make some mistakes, some spellings, some grammatical error, and that's the time, that's the period. Sometimes there are some words that you still need to underline. That is the time that you need to make sure that you do all those things. There's numbering that is supposed to be done. Make sure you do that. Check all the spellings, grammatical errors. Check all the spelling errors. Check the numbering. How is the numbering? Look at the paragraphs that you have written. How is your work? That is the time that you need to do after finishing writing. But sometimes I've seen students whereby they finish writing, they still have maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour to go, then they rush and hand in their papers. You end up making mistakes. So please make sure you avoid this mistake. Mistake number 2, starting with the most difficult questions. Why should you start with the most difficult questions? I know sometimes you may be saying, no, it's better I start with the most difficult questions so that I end up with answering the simplest questions. Yes, that is good. But you know why I discourage starting with the most difficult question? The reason is that what happens if you fail to answer that difficult question? Because sometimes you may find that you may waste maybe about 30 minutes or 20 minutes to answer the question, but at the end of the day you fail to answer that question. What do? You cancel that work out. It means that you have canceled that work, which is fine, but again you have wasted maybe 20 or 30 minutes in answering that question, which is not a good thing. My argument is, what are you in an exam room for? Are you not there to pass? Are you not there to get good marks? Are you not there to get high marks? So if you are in an exam room to get high marks, my sister, my brother, it is wise to make sure that you go for the simplest questions. Go for the simplest questions. Which one is the simplest question? If you have got 2, 3, or 4 simplest questions, make sure you go for them. Hammer them. Do everything, your very best. Make sure you hammer those 4 questions, the simplest questions first. Then afterwards, you can have time for the difficult question. You can have time for the difficult question. And even if you don't answer the most difficult question because you have already hammered the 4 simplest questions, my brother, my sister, you cannot fail, because what you have done is the best. So don't go for the most difficult questions. Go for the simplest questions first, and that is going to help you harvest better marks at the end of the day. Mistake number 3, not knowing how much to write on each question. Okay, so this is also another thing. You find that here is a student who has been given a question, says discuss a given question, maybe discuss the benefits of bookkeeping, So instead of writing and you have been given 20 marks, here is a student who just discuss that and gives maybe 2 or 4 or 5 lines, 5 sentences. Then he hands in the paper, she hands in the paper, that is difficult. That is different, from a question that is given 5 marks. So you need to go by the marks. Okay, how much marks does that question have? Is it 5 marks? Is it 20 marks? Is it 15 marks? So be guided by the marks that are given on each and every question, and that should help you know how much content, how much time should be given to that very question. So let the marks guide you on this one. Okay, then mistake number 4 is forgetting to write personal details. I've seen students who hand in the paper without the ID. They hand in the paper without their names, without their computer numbers or their identification numbers. How do you expect the lecturer or the teacher to know, your work? So it is important that you make sure that you write your particulars, you write your ID, you write, if you are using your name, write your name. This mistake is common, especially with the first years in colleges, the first years in universities, the so-called freshers. So it is important that you make sure that you do the right thing. Write your particulars. If anything, this should be the first thing to be done in that exam room. Don't forget to write your particulars. Mistake number 5 is poor writing style. Your writing style should be good. Make sure you do a proper handwriting. Just handwriting, sometimes it attracts marks. How good is your handwriting? Some handwriting, they are terrible. You look at them, very terrible, So you need to make sure that you write using a very nice handwriting. Handwriting sometimes attracts marks. You may not write sense, you may not write better things, but just look at your handwriting. It's very attractive, very appealing to the eyes. What do the teacher do? What do the lecturer do? You give you marks. Sometimes not necessarily given marks, but you are given a bonus, for a better handwriting, apart from the good work that you have written. So make sure you write good handwriting, and make sure the things that you are writing, they've got a sizable font, good font, not very tiny things. Some lecturers may have eye problems and they may not see what you are writing. So make sure there is a good writing style that is observed. Grammar should be okay, spelling should be okay, then the handwriting itself should be okay. And once you observe these mistakes that I've talked about in this episode number 3, definitely you are not going to fail your exams. Definitely you'll be floating on top, because you have done the right things. Okay.